to another Patreon Live here this week. I have a couple of things I need to do real fast before we get totally started. One of which is I don't think I emailed myself a link. So I'm going to email myself a link really quick so I can access the... Why is that not charging? I bet you my kids unplugged it. No, you're plugged in. Huh. Oh, it is charging. Okay. My kids love to unplug my tablet and use it when I don't know they're using it, and then they bring it back and put it on my desk and it's dead and I don't know it until I actually need it. It's not dead today though, so we're okay. We're okay. Now, let me grab this link and we're gonna get rocking and rolling. Shareable link to me. This. Okay. There we go. That way I can pull it up on the iPad and see comments. How's everybody doing today? How's the week been going? Okay. Today we're working on the albums for my niece May. I've got 3 layouts to put together. I don't think it's going to take too long, but they are the final 3 layouts for this entire album, which is super exciting. Which means that after this, probably on Saturday, when it's not gray and raining outside, I'll film a flip through of the whole thing to share later next month. Yay, there we are. Hi. All right, let's see here. So Melina, hi, welcome to your first live. Oh, don't be anxious. Don't be anxious. It's very chill. We're super chill. We just hang out. We make stuff. It's great. And sometimes it takes me a hot second to even get myself ready. Here we are though. But welcome, super happy that you're here. Hi Jessica, Susan, Janine. Hi everyone. Caitlin, watching while you eat lunch, which is good. She loves watching. Well, she's gonna be watching herself on the screen because I'm making her layouts this week. Although I'd be interested if she would recognize her own baby pictures, you know? That'd be kind of an interesting thing. It's been a long week. Yeah, I agree with that. It's been an interesting week. It's been interesting. Some good, some bad, some ugly, some, what's the opposite of ugly? Gorgeous? I don't know. It's been interesting. But I'm excited to scrapbook today and maybe shake these funky feelings away. So let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my camera so that you are facing my desk. So Melina, just so you know, it's gonna get real like shaky here for a minute, so look away. But anyway, it's just janky because I only have one camera, and I like to start where I can talk to you from my face and not just, you know, my hands. So here we are. Hi Shannon. Good morning. Yeah, it's lunchtime here. I am known for, I'm trying to think if I want to plug my phone in. I kind of do. I'm going to plug the phone in instead of the iPad because I can see when the iPad is getting low, and it'll be fine. It's got like 70%. That's, you know, killing it. All right, we're good. So, oh boy, what do we got? So lunch. Oh yeah, it's lunchtime here. I am known for not eating lunch, which I know is bad. I'm also known for not eating breakfast, which is also bad. And typically just have like a snack at like 4 and then I eat dinner. And that's usually it. I'm trying to make better efforts to actually eat food, but I didn't do it today. So here we are. I did eat breakfast. That's a lie. Aaron bought, he had to go to the office yesterday. He only goes to the office maybe once a week. Sometimes once every other week, sometimes once a month. It just kind of depends. So he went to work yesterday and got his whole office breakfast pizza at a place that's close to them. And they had leftovers, so he brought that back home. And then he heated that up for us this morning. It was really good. It's my first time ever having breakfast pizza. And actually, I would recommend. The stories that I'm working on today, there are 3 of them. All 3 of them are for 12 months. So we're at the very last one. Very last divider. For those of you that this might be your first time seeing this for a second, I thought that was release paper on tape, but it's just the pattern. It's been that kind of day. So if this is your first time seeing this, this is a series of 3x8 albums. These are older, from like an older December daily, maybe 2020 or 2021 December daily season. And I have a divider in here with a number on it that represents the months old that my niece May, or Mabel, was at the time. I start with some kind of large photo. Well, this particular large photo of her, they took the same photo for the entire year, so you can see the growth over time. And then I have 2 stories for every month. So there's a story number 1, story number 2, which we worked on earlier this month. And then I end with just a piece of pattern paper, just to make it simple. So I've got 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, and now we're working on 12 months. So this would have been when she turned 1. So I'm starting with the big picture of May in her high chair. This says 1 below it, at her birthday party. And then I have the pattern paper for the back. And then I'm going to be putting together the 2 stories that will go inside of 12 months here. So I'm going to set this temporarily to the side, and we'll fill things in here as we go. The first story that I have here is about the first time that May went on an airplane. Also, in regards to this album, most of the journaling is from Caitlin, my sister-in-law. Not necessarily from me. There are a couple of stories that I wrote the journaling for it. There are a couple of stories that we asked other people to write. So grandparents, we prompted the grandparents with, like, what are 5 things that you love about May right now? Sometimes it's my brother-in-law whose journaling gets added in, but it's mostly not mine. So this story is just like that. It is not my journaling. It is my sister-in-law's. So for this one, I'm using a double page picture. This is a picture of May looking out at the airplane that they actually got on to go on this trip to visit my sister-in-law in North Carolina. And I couldn't get it to the 3x8 size without cutting off too much of the important stuff in the picture. So I decided to just print it large, and I went ahead and added the journaling onto the photo itself. So the journaling is printed on the photo. And then I could just cut this in half, and it becomes the 2 sides of the page. I left enough space up here to add a title, which I'm going to be using the Lots of Love Studio Calico subscription stamp, which has a lot of really good titles on it. So I like it. A lot of the product that I ended up using for these last few layouts came from that kit, because the Lots of Love, like Documenter kit and Traveler's Notebook kit and the stamp, because the colors just worked out really well for a little girl's baby album. It just was like perfect colors, perfect sentiments. So it just really worked out. And it also allows me to use up a bunch of my stuff, which, you guys all know that I love to use it, because if I don't use it, I will lose it. Because I love getting rid of things too. So I would rather use it. So I'm going to use this title. It says, I love adventuring with you. And I'm just going to stamp it in black on the top of this picture. The photo paper that I use is Canon. I have a Canon printer, and so I use Canon paper. And this is the Photo Glossy Paper 2, something like that. I know it's got a 2 in it, Photo Glossy Paper 2. Anyway, something like that. Because it is a paper that is intended to absorb ink so that pictures can be printed on it through a printer, a home printer, it also absorbs stamp ink really well too. So it makes it super easy to stamp on it and have nice impressions, which I'm going to say that, and we're going to hope that this is actually going to be a nice impression. It's not that I said that if it's not. Oh, beautiful. We did good. Okay, so we've got that. I love adventuring with you. I did try to leave enough room on the edge there to hole punch this, because this will be hole punched to go into the album itself. You know what? I'm actually going to do that. Let's hole punch this. let's get it punched. That way I don't stick anything on here and it's in the wrong spot. Whoops. Just dip this whole thing in ink, why don't I? Okay. So let me grab, did I get that yet? No. So there's my template, there's my hole punch, and we'll go from there. Let me see. So let me see what you guys are up to. So let's see, Melina, you've watched a lot of recorded videos, but usually working at this time. Homesick today, COVID booster. We got our COVID boosters too the first week of January, and it kicked us all in the butt. Like it was not a fun day afterwards. We're like, in hindsight, we probably should have got the booster shots on a Friday or a Thursday. We got them on a Monday, and so it really sucked that we were sick in the middle of our work week. It was not fun. So I feel you. I'm sorry that you're not feeling good. I'm glad you're protected, but I'm sorry you're not feeling good. I totally understand. And yay, you get to be here. Yay. That's super fun. And then let me see, Jessica, excited for book club tonight. Excited about the thoughts. Yes, book club. Yes, I'm excited for it too. I've already read, I need to go back and look at all those questions I put on there again because it helps jog my memory of what happened in that book, because I've been on a reading spree. I've been doing a good job with my reading this year. I did a good job with my reading last year too, but I feel like I'm continuing the trend. And I've already read 4 books in February. And I read the book for book club. I finished that one in January though, but I read the next book for book club too. So the, actually I don't want this one. What's it called? I'm Glad My Mom Died. I finished that one too. It's pretty good. I'm excited to hear thoughts on that one too. I feel like I go to book club and I like the books. I always like the books that we read, except for obviously the one that I hated from last year, which was entertaining. It's very rare that I hate a book, so that made for some entertainment. But I forgot what I was saying. Hold on. Oh, that I go to book club. Oh my gosh, my my voice. I'm still a little congested. I'm still dealing with some of that congestion. But anyways, going to book club with, oh, I like this book. And a lot of times I end up leaving book club and I'm like, oh man, I might like this book even more than I thought I originally liked it. It's really fun to go in and hear everybody's thoughts. Okay, so now this whole story, this whole trip was about visiting my sister-in-law and their new baby in whatever month this was, September of last year, right? So they went on the plane, they flew to North Carolina and stayed with my in-laws for a week. So although the plane ride is an important thing, I felt like it was also very important that we have my sister-in-law and their cousin, Sylvia, in this story as well. So I printed this picture off. It's small. It's what, 2 1/4 inches? Yeah, 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. And then I pulled out this journaling card from the documenter kit, and I liked the little swirly lines. It matches a lot of those peach tones in this photo, which, I mean, that's so pretty. It does it. Like the plane has peach on it. It's great. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to adhere it below the, whatever that is. I could probably just cut this so I don't have to think about that. Let's just cut it. And then that'll be great. I'm going to cut this off. I don't care about that. I could always take this if I feel bad about like, oh, I cut that off and now I'm just going to throw it away. I could take it and trim it down and stick it in with my ephemera pieces that match the kit, right? And then it becomes just like a little label. That works too. So I think I'll do that. That way there's, And then when I get the next kit and I'm working with new product, if I don't use it, then at that point I don't have to feel, I won't feel as guilty just being like, yeah, I'm not going to use you. Okay, so we'll stick this together and go from there. So as some of you may know, working with Studio Calico product is new for me. I have purchased their kits in the past when they went on sale, specifically their Traveler's Notebook, because I wanted to try out their Traveler's Notebooks. So I had bought a couple of them when they went into like the large sale category, but I've never really truly given them like a true try. I've never subscribed to them as a company. So working with their products is new, and it actually is really fun. One of the things I like the most about the Studio Calico products thus far is that I feel like in a lot of my Ali Edwards subscriptions, the number of journaling cards is dwindling. And I love using journaling cards. I love them. So it's very sad when the journaling cards are what's being cut back on time and time again. So what I like about the Studio Calico kits is that they are very card heavy. There's a ton of cards. What's nice about that is twofold. One, I have more to work with, which means like I can feel a little bit more creative myself because, hold on, I'm going to think and talk here at the same time. I can have a little bit more freedom in what I'm creating because I have more options, right? And it helps me to match the cards up a little bit better with the stories I want to tell versus making my images and my stories match what the products are I'm given. So that's kind of nice. Also, there are times when I don't like cards. I don't like sentiments. I don't feel connected to specific products. And when I only have, 6 or 8, however many it is, to choose from, I can't really afford to say like, no, I don't like this, I'm not going to use it, because I need it. Even if I don't like what it says, I still need it. So with the Studio Calico ones, I love that I can be like, okay, yes, I have an abundance of cards. I love these ones. I don't love these ones. So I won't feel guilty not using them because I have so many that I still like. Anyway, so far that is my thought in using Studio Calico stuff. I need my craft knife here so that we can do this next part. So another thing, I don't want to, like I said, I don't really want to cover up the picture, right? So I had thought about, oh, what if I like added the picture on the picture, and that would be kind of cool. And it still would be kind of cool. But I also just like the way the picture is. I like the space. So instead, I'm going to make this a little interactive pullout, and we're just going to do it that way. So I want to kind of figure out where it goes. I'm also going to need a ruler. Okay, so figuring out where it goes, I need enough room at the bottom for adhesive. I need enough room along the sides for adhesive. I think it's going to fit right here pretty nicely. So keeping that in mind, we'll just move that off. I'm going to use this mat. I love using this mat to help me measure and determine where things should go. So this, I'm going to cut this at, I guess I'll go like right in the middle of these. So I know that my photo is straight. My ruler is straight. This, let's figure out where. All right, so I'm gonna want to cut from a little bit further, because when you make slits for things to come in and out of, you don't want them to be the exact same size. You want them to be a little bit bigger, so you got that wiggle room. And we're just gonna go here. Oh, P.S. Susan, I know you're here today, so I have to tell you that I was blown away by what you did with the XO kit with the circle. Oh my gosh, I super loved that. That was such a cool way to use that paper in an unexpected way. Just so you know. I talked about you on the story chat too, because I was like, that was so cool. If you guys haven't seen Susan's layout, go look at it. All right, so we got that. Yay. Now this, see, so now there's enough room that it'll fit in there, and I can stick it in, I can take it out. To help me with taking it out, I want to use a tab. These tabs are the tabs that I've been looking for. Oh my gosh. Okay. Side story. When was I looking for these? The other day, I was like, I need a tab for something. I don't remember what it was now, but I needed a tab. And I was like, I know I have these tabs from the May. Pretty sure this was May Stories by the Month kit last year, because we got 2 sets of them. It was just so many. And I went through all my stickers and couldn't find them because I had it in this packet of materials. That's that, go figure. Okay, so I think I want to do maybe just this like peach colored one. We're just going to keep that peach theme going. And then I don't want to cover up too much of important stuff. So I think I'll put it here next to her head so we don't cover her all the way up. And that'll be fine. Sure. It's probably a little too low. Oh well. Oh well, it is what it is. Hold on. You did not fold properly. There we go. Okay, so we got just this, the little tab. Oh, that'll be fine. Okay, so we've got that. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Oh, I'm behind. I'm going to catch up on some of your stuff. So, find lunch. Yep. Yeah, Jessica, find yourself some lunch. Don't be like me. Christy, good afternoon. You're enjoying lunch, then going to have some downtime before work. Yes. I had a little bit of downtime before I started today. I've been trying this whole week. I've been not working very much because I am trying to get my whole house refreshed, cleaned. This one I punched very badly. Can you see that? I punched it super bad, but I figured that when I adhere it back to back with this one, it won't be a big deal. You'll barely be able to tell that I made any kind of error there. It's fine. It is fine. But yeah, so today my goal was to finish cleaning the bedrooms, and then I need to clean my studio and I need to clean the office. I work myself up where I think I can do all the things in one day. It's just not possible. But my goal is to get everything refreshed so that hopefully in the weeks to come, I can just maintain it. It gets out of hand. I definitely I'm very, I don't know, maybe high strung when it comes to my house, because what I determine is a disaster of our house is definitely not the same definition of other people. like I will throw a tantrum to Aaron and be like, our house is horrible. It's such a mess. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's clean. He's like, I'm like, but there's dust bunnies. Anyway, I have a low threshold, I think, for mess, and definitely a low threshold for clutter. So I eventually just get where I can't stand it anymore. And I have moments like this of like, I'm just going to clean the entire thing. I'm going to use this entire week to clean the house so that I can stop freaking out and I can just go back to living my life again. Does anybody else do that? Please tell me I'm not alone. Okay, so we got the fixed. We're fixed, kind of. I definitely did that a little crooked. So we'll just do a little snip, snip. And it'll be fine. How in the world did I get that on there crooked? Well, it's okay. All right. All better. So there is that one. And then the other one, we'll finish the functionality of it with the second story. I just want to make sure this will go in here the right way. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay, so all right. Whoa, David Copperfield is 34 hours long, but the British accents, yes. Yes. We've started playing Hogwarts Legacy recently. So Aaron got it over the weekend last weekend, and we've just been dipping our toes into it. And I love British accents. So it's fun to listen in to the game, and there's British accents all over. So I like it. It's very soothing. All right, so that's so funny, Shannon, that your least favorite thing is the cards. Yeah, it's funny because we all have our things, right? We all have our things that we particularly like or don't like when it comes to kits. Shannon, do you subscribe to the quarterly scrapbooking kit from Allie Edwards, since that one has the 12 by 12? Just out of curiosity. You almost skipped it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's the next one. The next one is for May's actual birthday party. So for this one, I actually had a ton of photos that I had taken and I had in my archives. So it's interesting because Caitlin had sent me photos that they had, and I was like, I have so many more than this. So I'm just going to put as many as I can onto the layout. So you got a bunch of them. So I made a grid because, you know, you guys, I love grids. It's not a secret. I love them. So I made a grid, and I have this big open spot here in the bottom. So I pulled out because I wanted some journaling in here, but I wanted it to look cute. So I pulled out this pocket. This is older, from Felicity Jane, and it came with the journaling card right here. So I was like, oh, I really like the idea. I mean, I designed this with this in mind. I'm like, I really like the idea of having a pocket on the page, you know, the same width as the grid itself, and then have the journaling in there with a little bit of twine. I think that would be super cute. So that's what we're going to do. But I don't particularly like this pattern with all of the color we have going on. So I went into my stash and I pulled out this pattern, which is from Freckled Fawn. I've had it forever. I used to subscribe to their 4x8 papers, just the papers. And then I found that I had so many of them that I wasn't using that I unsubscribed. And this was years ago. So I still have a pretty massive stash of this paper. So we're just going to recreate the pocket with our own paper. So what I need to do is figure out the height here. So you are about, I'm going to put you at 3. You're kind of a weird size. Let's put it at like 3.875. So what would that be doubled? That's too difficult. Let's put it at 3.5. So it'll be a little bit taller. Where does 3.5 leave me? 3.5. No, I'm gonna do 3.25. Yeah, 3.25. So 3.25 plus 3.25 is 6.5 inches. So I know I need this paper to be 6.5 inches long. So we're gonna do that first. Grab out my trimmer here. All right, so 6.5. Okay, and then I probably have no use for that. And then I'm gonna grab my scoring board so we can make it a little easier to fold. All right, and what I need to know now is, come back here, pocket. How wide are you? You are 3 inches wide. Okay, that's easy enough. So if that is 3 inches wide and this paper is 4, we're gonna make it 4 inches just for ease of measuring. Actually, I'm gonna make it 3. Okay, because I want it to be 3 inches. So let's make it 3.5 inches. That will give me 1/4 of an inch on every side, or on the 2 sides. That should be good enough. Okay, so 3.5. 3.5 by 6.5. Okay, so now we're gonna take it to the scoring board and we're gonna score it at need my bone folder. There it is. Okay, so we're gonna score it at 3 1/4 inches because I need 1/4 of an inch to fold over. And then 1/4 of an inch, but that's kind of hard. So I'm just gonna turn this around and do it again at 3 1/4 for ease. Okay, so those are my sides. And then we're going to go directly in the middle, which was 3 1/4, which made it 6 1/2. So right in the middle. Yay. All right. Getting there. Now, with this piece of paper, I think I want the folds to go towards the back. So we are going to, so I've got my middle crease. I don't know, it's probably not easy to see on any side. Maybe if I shine the lights on myself a little bit better. The middle crease is right here. This is going to be the front because on the front, I want the hearts to be facing the right way, right? If I did it this way, they'd be upside down. So that's the front, that's the back. That's gonna be a side, that's gonna be a side. This needs to be removed. So I'm going to cut along. It'll be easier to see it. Oh, it's really not easy to see. Maybe if I like slightly fold it, that'll make it easier for me to find it. Yeah, that kind of helped somewhat. Okay, so I'm going to cut along this bottom until I get to the middle. We'll do that on both of those sides. Yeah, I did that right. Okay. All right, so then this one, I want to do the same thing. I'm going to cut along that fold until I get to the middle. Great, so we got the 2 little flaps there. And then I want to do an angle to cut it off of the bottom. And the same thing on this side. That'll just make folding it and adhering it a lot easier. And then one last thing I want to do before we create this pocket is, where are you? I want to create the little notch. This, which I think is probably, how big are you? 1 1/2 inches. So I'm going to grab my 1 1/2 inch circle somewhere in this mess of circles. Are you it? Here it is. Okay. So we've got the circle. We're going to try to make this in the middle as much as possible. Okay, wish me luck here. We're going to punch it. And there we go. We have a notch that may or may not be in the middle. Close. Okay. All right, so now we can assemble. Yay. I'm going to put all these back away so they're not cluttering my desk. You and you and you. Okay. Yay. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to reinforce the folds. All right, so there's the front. And then we've got the first side. And the second side. Like so. I actually might clip off the top of these as well. Again, just so that they fold a little easier, adhere a little easier. Okay, right? Yes. And yes. Okay, so then what I need to do is add my adhesive onto these 2 side flaps. I'm going to use some double-sided adhesive, but that's 1/8 of an inch wide. So we can just stick it right in the middle. There's 1. There's 2. Okay, 1 and 2. All right, so then it's just folding it up and we'll have ourselves a nice cute little pocket. Yay. Okay. All right, this is a little wide, so I'm just gonna cut that. All right, there we go. So we've got a pocket. The tag fits in there nicely, right? I can put a cute little piece of twine on here. And that's going to go on the birthday. I also wanted to stick this sentiment that says "so sweet," just because I think that it is so sweet. And I want to put that on here. Question is, I could stamp it on the yellow and then put that on there. We could try it. Maybe I'll do that. I'll try it on yellow and then I'll do it on white too. Now I have some sticker paper somewhere. Okay. Use that to make it easier. Oh yeah. Here it is. Just like plain white sticker paper. All right, and we'll do this and this. Oh yeah, so yeah, Shannon, so she does a, Allie Edwards does a quarterly scrapbook kit. So there's a new release every 3 months. The newest one just came out and they have different like themes to them, but they're all fairly generic. So the newest one, when I'm done with this, maybe I'll pull it out. Depending, we should have time for that. So the newest one, the theme is labels. Sometimes they're themed after shapes. Sometimes they're themed after words. I know one that's coming up this year is called Go. And that one, I asked about it, you know, like what kind of patterns or sentiments can we expect? Because Go is kind of a different type of theme for the quarterly kit. And they told me that it's like a lot of arrows and like the patterns might be kind of like a geographical map type of thing. So maybe a little bit travel-esque, but not too themey, you know, not like the story kits or anything like that. All right, so let's see which one we like the best. I've got yellow and I've got white. We'll figure this out. And then I got to think about for this, I don't really have any great ribbon. I have lots of twine, but I don't have a lot of ribbon. I'll probably just use twine because that's what I've got. Pretty sure the only ribbon I have is white, which is boring, so maybe not that. But I do have black and white, and I think black and white is always a good mix when you have a lot of color going on. Just can help ground some things. You know, I say as I just stamped this one on yellow and made it colorful. We'll see. I probably will like the white one better. Okay. Yep. White wins. Okay, so here we go. Oh, do you have a break in you? Yes. But you're not hopeful. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we'll stick that into the middle of our pocket just for a little something. Okay. And then I just need to stick this on there. Actually, let's hole punch it because that'll be difficult to hole punch once I have that chunky thing on there. What did I do with my, did I put it back? I did. I should just keep this out. I'm gonna need it one more time. All right, so hole punch. Okay. Because these 3x8 albums are very thin, they're only, I think they're 1.5 inches. The spine is, it's just not a lot of room. So I've been not embellishing a whole ton on these layouts because I don't want to bulk them up too much. Like this is already going to add a bunch of bulk right here. I've been trying not to bulk them up too much so that we can fit all of the stories for the whole year within the 3 albums. My original goal was to do it in 2 albums, and I, you know, vastly underestimated that. So then I luckily was able to secure one more when I started these. I started these albums 2 years ago, so it's gonna feel super good to have this project completed. Right in time, because my sister is due with her first baby in April. And then Caitlin and Alex told us a couple weeks ago, they just announced it Caitlin announced it on the Monday coffee hour, that they are expecting their second. So I finished their album for May, their first baby, just in time for the second baby to come around. Which is funny, right? Okay, there we go. I think that looks good. So we'll stick that down. Yay. And then let me grab my black and white twine, which I think that'll just look cute. Yes. Right? Yes, we're going to do that. Oh, I'm running out of this. This is my favorite twine. I've had it for probably like 3 years. My kids keep coming in and using it without my permission. I'm like, that is my sacred black and white twine. Leave it alone. So with this one, the journaling on this one is from Caitlin, and there was actually more than I could fit on just one side. So I printed the journaling on the front and on the back. So it's got all of the words in here. I'm just going to tie this in a bow because I think that will be cute. We'll bow this thing up. And stick it in here. Yep. I want these to be somewhat even. I like them long, though. I think that's fun. But we will trim them to be similar lengths and then call that good. So there we go. There is story number 2. So for this one, this is going to adhere to the paper. This is going to go onto the back of our I Love Adventuring With You with the slit pocket. So what I want to do is add my adhesive to the page where I've cut the slit. And I'm going to add my adhesive to the top and the bottom and the sides, as I would normally do, right? So top, well, that's actually the bottom, I think. Bottom, top, side, and side. And right here too. And then, double check I got the right side, I do. Then for the slit, I'm actually going to also add adhesive to the top of the slit. That way, only the bottom one comes up and off of the page. It makes it a little bit easier for me to slip the card back down inside of it. The other thing I want to double check is, okay, if I put this in here and pushed it all the way down, can I lose this? I sure can. So we are going to add another piece right here. And that's going to stop my photo from slipping all the way down and then, getting lost in the back side of the photo, or in between the two pieces of photos, right? Okay, so we'll do that. And now I can remove tape and stick these together. Maybe this time I won't get it crooked. There will be an attempt. Okay, so got you. Okay. And last but not least, that one. Yeah, I think I did a good job. Solid work. All right, so then we can go ahead and slip this in the slot where it belongs, right? And it just kind of peeks out a little bit, which is good. That's what I wanted it to do so that it was easier. I might actually put it up a little bit more so it's easier to grab it out. Okay, so yay. So next one, yay, there. And then this one goes on the back of this pattern paper, which is just this. It's really pretty. I don't even know where this came from. Maybe Paige Evans. It's been a while. I generally gravitate towards brighter colored papers. I think I just like bright colors. So I have a lot of really bright, bold colors in my stash that I was able to pull from. Also a good way to use up a bunch of pattern paper because I don't use it nearly enough. All right, so got that. Let's stick these together at the top. I'm just gonna line up the holes, and then if I need to trim around, I think I'll just have to trim around some of this pattern paper, and that's totally fine. Okay. What are you guys working on this week? Anything fun? Any stories or using any products that are new that you're getting in the mail? Oh, and P.S. after this live, I'm gonna run over to. I say run over like I'm actually gonna run somewhere. I'm not. I'm just going to start back up a video. I'll be live over on the Allie Edwards Design Inc. account on Instagram because they're doing round 2 of the stamp sale today. So if you wanted stamps from the sale and you weren't able to get them yesterday with the 50% off promotion, it's happening again today from 2 to 3. So I'm going to go live, I guess, and answer questions or talk about some of the stamps that are in the sale. But anyway, that just made me think that if you didn't know, that's happening today. 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, where all physical stamps are 50% off, which is a pretty darn good deal. Okay, so there we go. There's this one. Right? Yay. Dear Mabel. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, so that is essentially the 12 months, right? We've got the large photo, story number 1, story number 2, and then the end. Now, at the end of this, I wanted to include one last layout. Also, by the way, let me see if I can find this other one. Caitlin's here. I think you're still here. So, okay, so there is a layout in this album. I think it's this one. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. It might be the next one. Okay, it's the next one. That's volume 1. In volume 2, my brother-in-law has been tasked with sending me journaling for one of the layouts, for this one, to just like talk about his dad. And he never did it. So I want to give them this album. So Caitlin, it is now your husband's responsibility, or whatever, or you could just leave it blank and it is what it is. But it is his responsibility now to handwrite in whatever it is he wants to say. Or like I said, you could leave it blank. Or you could write something in, I don't care. But we're just gonna stick this thing down and be done with it. I kept it off because I was gonna throw it through the printer, but I am not going to do that anymore. So there you go, homework. Some homework for you. Okay, so that is that. And the last one. So the last layout I wanted to put in here, I think I'm gonna clean off my desk a little bit before I dive into it because there's just a lot of stuff everywhere. And as I said before, I can't deal very well with clutter. So that is the motivation behind my typically clean desk. Okay, so we got that one. I'll put it away. There you go. And then this I don't need anymore. Back over with the stickers. This I might need. I don't know. You I don't. You away. What else? These I won't need anymore. Tons of garbage. You can be put away. you can be put away. Keep you out. You can be put away. I may not need the super sticky tape, but we'll keep it out just in case. I will need the hole punch and the template, so we'll keep those. All right. Let me just swipe this all into the garbage and then I'll be feeling better. So the last layout that I'm including is a letter from me to May. Just like a closing remarks on, you know, having the honor of creating this album for her. So I am using, to create this, oh, and this I'm done with too. Okay, guess you can go there. So I am going to be using a couple of these supplies. So I have the U story stamp that I want to bring a couple of the sentiments from this onto the layout. I've got this card, which was actually a pattern paper that I cut down into cards that says like good, better, best. This was from the Good Story Kit from Allie Edwards, so I've got that. I have the circle, the stitched circle pocket. That's kind of the peachy pink color from the Remember Story Kit. I took one of the U Story Kit. I have some really, really old cards from the U Story Kit, and he texted it to me a little bit ago. That's so funny. So I cut this out because I wanted there to be the white space at the top, but it was actually this card, so you can kind of like see how they went together a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this portion or not. I might just trim it out and use it as ephemera somewhere else, or toss it out, who knows. Anyway, so I printed my journaling on the front and back of this. This is a 3-inch circle that I punched out with my circle punch, and that will go inside of this pocket. I have a little Love This piece. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and stick that on. This is an older piece from Color Cast Design that I thought would be really cute on top of the pocket. So like right here, nope, somewhere centered-ish, maybe right there. Okay, this, actually I don't want to do that yet. First, I'm actually going to stamp. I just don't know. Do you think stamping is going to ghost through the paper? I mean, if it does, it's not that big a deal, so I don't care. We're going to do it to the back. So I want to create a repeat stamp background here. And I also need to stamp the title onto the journaling circle card. So first and foremost, let's do the card. I kind of don't want to do black since everything's really muted. So I'm thinking I'll grab my gray ink instead and just do all the gray. So this is the Otter Rock gray from Allie. And then the first one, it's a little circle. I want to stamp You Matter. So maybe we'll do this one first. So this is You Matter, which I think is appropriate for this story. Okay, so You Matter, I think will fit right there. It's not the best stamping, but it's okay. Okay, and then this one, what do I want to do? Maybe I'll do this You and Me over and over again. It's really small, so it'll take a hot second to get it done, but that's okay. What I could do, oh no, because the pink's not that great. I don't particularly like the Astoria pink ink from Allie. It's so hard to see it. I have a hard time seeing it. Okay, so we're just gonna go You and Me. And I'm just gonna line up the You at the end of the Me in order to make this a pattern. Okay. Where did I line up the You with the Me? So there. And it is okay with me if No, I didn't put the U's next. The U goes to the me goes to the U, whatever. So I guess we're just shoving these in here. There's going to be no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to stick them in here wherever they fit. And if it all covers each other up, then so be it. All I really need is like a 4x4 square. Is all I'm looking for here. Oops. It doesn't have to be readable because there's going to be, I'm going to put a picture right on top. So like even a lot of the center will be totally covered. That's okay. Perfection is not the name of the game when it comes to stamping. So don't even attempt. Just, you know, just go for it. Unless you're trying to be precise, and then, you know, do your best. All right, almost there. You and me, you and me. I'll read you guys what I wrote to Mabel too. Since that journaling is, that one is from me, I'll read it out loud. We have some crazy weather going on here. So today, well, first of all, earlier in the week, it was like in the 50s, which is very, like that is not normal for where I live. It's normally like, you know, 20s or colder. 40s, you're super lucky, but 50s, it was wild. So it was 50s, and then yesterday it like thunderstormed for a hot second. That was bizarre too. And then today it's supposed to just rain a lot, and then it's going to get cold. So we have a kind of a winter storm watch where it's supposed to, we're supposed to get about an inch of ice. And then on top of the ice, we're going to get 2 inches of snow, is what they're predicting right now. Luckily, the kids already don't have school tomorrow because it's like a teacher work day. But, I'm gonna put this. If they did, I would expect it would have turned out to be a snow day. So, yeah. I guess that's not a bad thing. But this morning I went out to the store because we don't have anything for dinner we had no plans for dinner tonight or really tomorrow either. So I was like, I'm gonna go and get us some stuff for making dinner for the next 2 nights because we could very well end up stuck at home. So I do not want to drive on 2 inches of snow with an inch of ice underneath. That sounds like a terrible idea. So we're just gonna be staying home. All right, so now I am going to cut this. Well, maybe I won't cut it yet. Maybe we'll adhere the circle first, and then we'll decide where this should end up. Because I want it to pretty much fit. Actually, probably really does need to be around 4 inches. I could try 4 and like a quarter, see what happens. Oh, yes. Okay, that's good. So I've got 4 1/4 would fit this nicely. However, will it fit nicely in the album that I put over here? Because we're working in a smaller album. So will that cause issues? Yes, it will. Okay, let's just do 4 inches. That should be fine. Okay. All right, so we've got the 4. I want to punch this so that it is in the middle. Thinking like right there. like that. So the pattern paper acts as the attacher piece for my circle. Oops. And then gives me more room on the back for adding, you know, an additional photo. Okay, so we'll do that. Then we're going to stick this down. Okay. All right, so trying to keep this straight-ish. And I think that's probably good. Sure. I think that's good. Okay, so then you can kind of see the pattern paper around the outside. We've got the journaling that goes into the pocket itself with the title on top that says "You Matter." The back side, I printed a photo from year one of May and I together. This was on a trip that we took in the summertime. So this would have been, I'm guessing she would have been like 8 months old at this point in time. So yeah, but it's a picture I really like of us. So I'm going to frame us into the picture. The picture is a little bit longer than the frame, so we'll trim off the excess. Okay. We had gone to our friend's wedding this summer, and so we were up on Mackinac Island, which is in the upper portion of Michigan, and this is when we went to there's a fort on the base. And so we went to the fort and kind of toured it while the guys were busy doing their stuff, because they were both, my husband and my brother-in-law were both groomsmen. So they went and did all that. I think Alex might have been the best man, if I remember right. All right, let's do it this way instead. So I can base it on where it hits the holes. I think that's probably good. Sure, we'll call that good. So there's that. So cute. And then that will go in here, like so. So it's a little bit longer, but it's still, you know, it's fine. You somewhat can't see it when you got all the stuff on top of it, so it doesn't bother me. All right, so we'll go to that one. This is going to finish out the album. Behind it, I have a pocket, which I figured I would leave in here in case they want to add anything into the pocket, any additional notes or journaling or who knows what. And then this is a plastic pocket that kind of winds shut. And I thought this could be a good place if they have her hospital bracelet or anything like that. Any ephemera pieces that they would potentially want to keep could go into this pocket, and then it's all together within the 3 albums, all the stuff. For the journaling that I wrote, and to conclude this project, yay, I wrote this. I said May May. So Mabel's nickname is May, and for the longest time she was Baby May. We called her Baby May. But as she's gotten older, we've started to call her May May instead. That's what Jonah calls her. He calls her May May. So anyway, I called her May May. I said, May May, it has been my absolute pleasure to put this baby album together for you. Now, as I am wrapping up the last pages and getting the books ready to give to your mom, who will eventually give them to you, you are already over 2 years old and one of the sweetest, fiercest, smartest, and most beautiful girls I know. Your kindness comes from within, and your sense of adventure grows stronger by the day. You were born in a time when we had to stay away from each other to keep us all safe and healthy. I'm glad those times are fading away and we are able to be bigger parts of each other's lives. I do mourn the time we lost. Telling the stories of your first year of life allowed me to feel connected to you. In documenting your stories, I felt like I participated in them. I hope when you look back on these memories and the words from your parents, you will feel just how much we all love you. From the moment we learned you were coming to the day we all spent awaiting your arrival in the hospital parking lot, to the time we finally got to hold you, you have changed our lives. Thank you for letting us be part of your story. Thank you for loving on each of us and allowing us to love on you. No matter where life brings you or what happens in the many years we have ahead, know that we all, your aunts and uncles, your cousins, your grandparents, your future siblings, and most of all, your parents, are in your corner cheering you on. We love you so much, May May. I can't wait to watch your story evolve. So there we go. And that is May's album. So yay, Caitlin. It's done. You can finally have it. So we've got volume 3, volume 2, and volume 1 filled with 12 months of stories that document May's 12 first months of life. She is currently like 2.5, I think at this point. She'll turn 3 in September, about to become a big sister, about to have her whole life changed yet again. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what the future holds for them all. All right. I don't think I have anything else. So, friends, this is the last. I feel like my Zoom is like super far behind laggy wise. Anyway, this is the last live I have for February. So let's talk a little bit about March and what I'm going to be working on then. I do need to make one more spine label for volume 3, and then I can give these to Caitlin. Caitlin, I'll give them to you when I see you next week. But next month, I have this album that I was working on throughout the summer. I intended it to be summer stories, where it was going to be stories for all of June, July, and August. And then I made it about halfway through June. I designed the whole rest of June, and then I never finished it, and I never designed anything for July. I have since decided that I am not going to take this past June. I'm only going to document June in it. However, I have all of June printed and ready to go. I just need to literally put it in this album. So this is the Mochi Things notebook. You've probably seen Heba use it if you follow Heba. Does somebody else? I feel like there's other people who use it too. She's the main one that I see using it. There's another person who designed similar pages and sold books too, but I don't remember who that was. I feel like their Instagram tag is something like the Ginger or something. Anyway, so you might occasionally see people using similar things to this. This is what ultimately inspired me to change the way I'm doing Project Life this year into a format that's more like this. But this book is not a 6x8. I think it's a 5 by 8 1/4, or it might be like 5 1/2 by 8 1/4. It's not a 6 by 8. I wanted it to fit inside of my 6 by 8 album, which is why I created my own layouts that are sized for the outside of the page protector 6 by 8, so 7 by 8 1/4. Anyway, I really loved using this. So like, here's where I'm at so far. So I've got like, June. Is this June 1st? No. Yes. This would have been like the beginning of June, right? We went to Cedar Point, and I think this was the first day. This is June 2nd, but I think this was the first day of summer. And then, I've got just like stories throughout it. It's got a lot of stamping, very similar look to the Project Life that I'm doing now. So some large pictures in here. It was a lot of fun to put this together, but I get up to, how far did I get in here? So there's the 15th, 16th, 18th, 19th. I had 2 stories for that day, 20, 21, 22. So I got up to the 22nd, but I have all the way to the 30th. So in our lives next month, we're going to be finishing this book so that it can be done. I can put it away. And my summer stories from June of 2022 will be told. That is my plan for for March. And then I don't know yet what I'm going to do in April, maybe Project Life. I'll think about that as we get closer to April, but this one has been sitting just like staring at me all month long. So we're going to go back to this one. And I think that's it. So tonight is book club, which is going to be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are discussing the book. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. And so that's tonight. And then the next thing after that is going to be Monday coffee hour. So next week from 1 to 2 on Monday, we just meet up and chat and have a chill time. So if you can join us, awesome, join us. If you can't, I will try to get the replay up as soon as I can. And then that's it. So thanks for coming and joining me today. It's so much fun. Love being here with you. Love being here with you. It always brightens my day. And I hope that you have an awesome rest of your day. I will talk to you all soon. Bye, friends.